Imagine you wake up tomorrow and discover that humans are no longer in charge. Not because of an alien invasion, not because of robots, but because another animal became the dominant species on Earth. Sounds impossible, but every ruler in Earth's history eventually lost the throne. Which raises an uncomfortable question. If humanity disappeared tomorrow, who would be next? You probably think the answer would be the strongest animal. A lion, a tiger, maybe a bear. But that's not how humans took over Earth. We didn't win because we were stronger. We won because we were smarter. Language, tools, cooperation. That's the real superpower. That's the cheat code. So the real question isn't, which animal is the strongest? Which animal could develop the same cheat code? Let's start with a very strange contender. The octopus. If aliens exist, they probably look something like this. Octopuses can solve puzzles, open jars, escape locked containers, and even recognize individual humans. One famous octopus escaped an aquarium, crossed the floor, found a drain pipe, and disappeared back into the ocean. Imagine being so intelligent, your first idea is escaping prison. But there's a problem. Most octopuses only live for a year or two. That's barely enough time to learn. Never mind build a civilization. Brilliant minds, terrible lifespan. Next up, crows. And honestly, crows are a little terrifying. They remember human faces. They teach information to other crows. And if you annoy one, there's a good chance other crows will know about it too. Scientists have watched crows solve complex puzzles, use tools, and even use traffic to crack open nuts. That's not instinct. That's planning. But crows have a huge weakness. No hands. Imagine having the intelligence to invent something incredible and being stuck with a beak. Then we have a candidate most people rarely think about. Bonobos. You've probably heard of chimpanzees, but their lesser-known cousins might be even more fascinating. Bonobos are intelligent, highly social, and surprisingly cooperative. They solve problems, learn symbols, and communicate in ways that continue to surprise scientists. Sound familiar? Because cooperation is one of the biggest reasons humans became dominant. But bonobos have a weakness too. Their survival depends heavily on specific environments. And species that depend too much on one habitat rarely stay on top forever. Now let's talk about a candidate almost nobody expects. Rats. Not exactly future rulers of Earth, right? But hear me out. Rats live almost everywhere. Cities, forests, islands, underground tunnels. They eat almost anything, adapt to almost anything, and survive almost anything. When environments collapse, specialists struggle, generalists survive, and rats are masters of survival. In fact, after major extinction events, small adaptable mammals are often the ones left standing. That's basically how our own distant ancestors got their chance. But rats are missing something important. Large-scale cooperation. No technology, no civilization, no culture, just survival. And survival alone isn't enough. So who wins? The genius with no time. The genius with no hands. The genius with no stable future. Or the survivor that refuses to die. Here's the twist. Maybe there isn't a winner. At least not yet. Because the next dominant species won't just need intelligence. It will also need communication, cooperation, adaptability, and the ability to pass knowledge from one generation to the next. The exact combination that made humans so successful. And somewhere on Earth right now, another species may already be developing pieces of that formula. The only question is, are we smart enough to notice it? And now I'm curious. If humans disappeared tomorrow, which animal do you think would have the best chance of replacing us? The octopus? The crow? The bonobos? The rat? Or something completely different? Tell me your answers in the comments.